All right, guys. Been a while. So welcome back in. Coach Smooty, Coach Kaleb. Actually, I keep pointing in the episodes, but the recording comes out definitely differently. So Coach Kaleb and then Coach Grayson. What's up?
What's up, guys?
Big few weeks for our guy Grayson, man.
Big few
So
big few weeks for the whole couch. Kaleb started his season in basketball. Nick's pitching right now across the state. Grayson just beat this idiot's ass. That's the purpose of this episode. We got a champ on with us, and we're here to celebrate it. What were you saying, Kaleb? Just wanted to acknowledge you too.
well, shit. Grayson's been background. I met Grayson in 8th grade, and he's been doing the MMA fighting since then. So this was your first ever like real fight, correct?
Yeah, like organized. So I've been competing in jiu-jitsu and wrestling since I was 6. And I did a couple like kickboxing tournaments, a little like controlled MMA when I was younger, but like this was my first ever like pretty much close thing to UFC.
Undefeated, never lost.
So tell us about what was like your preparation leading up. What like did you have a specific diet? Obviously the workouts and everything, but like give us.
I started off camp. Camp started on January 4th, so it gave me about 8 weeks preparation. And I started, my weight was about 163 to 165, and I had to weigh in at 145. So I got a nutritionist, and one of my good friends from wrestling, Matthew Daner, he's a D2 wrestler at Belmont Abbey. They got together with me, made a strict diet. So until about the last week, it was, I don't know if you ever heard the saying, but you kind of had to eat like a dog, the same thing every single day, regardless of if it tasted good or not. So breakfast was just 2 to 3 eggs, 2 pieces of toast with peanut butter. Lunches, grilled chicken with some rice, and then dinner. But towards the last week, the second to last week, all my protein got switched to fish only, because fish is very light and it also has omega-3, which gives you the extra nutrients and vitamins in your body that you don't have when you're cutting weight. And then the actual last week, my diet is basically just eat what you can and what you can't, based off the scale. But I didn't want to cut water out until Thursday before, because when you dehydrate your body, that's when it gets really bad. Your immune system gets low. You can tear your muscles. So you got to stay hydrated as long as possible. And it was honestly the easiest weight cut of my life. I cut 20 pounds. I made weight at 145, and then I stepped in the octagon the next day at 162. So it was easy to put it back on. Wasn't too hard. As far as preparation towards the actual fight, we knew he was a kickboxer. We know part of the grappling. So the game plan was pressure, stay in his face, and let him know that we're there for the whole 9 minutes. And it only went 5 minutes instead. So that was.
I mean, clearly watching the fight, you whooped his ass.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even close. People were texting me. I bought a ticket. Me and Stuart both bought a ticket originally. Didn't end up working out. I had to practice, or I had a game actually, but I ended up buying the pay-per-view, and the fight wasn't even close, dude. You fucking dominated him, kicked the shit out of him. He didn't even hit you. He didn't even get a hit on you.
I mean, can you hear us, Grayson?
Yeah, he landed 0 punches. He landed 5 legs. That was it.
Yeah, he started off in the very beginning with the leg.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you about that, by the way. You guys were wearing those Shin Guards. Is that like I've never seen that. I've never seen an amateur fight.
Yeah, so it's actually the only we're the only state in the whole country that mandates that you have to wear Shin Guards in your MMA fight, which is not ideal, but it's the only way that works. But when it comes to like actual pain and like getting hit, taking a kick with them is just as painful. The only thing it does is it protects yourself more, if that makes sense.
So you don't like break an ankle or some shit.
Like we're in my sister's room right now. She's the only room that has a desk.
All right, that's fine. Yo, So I have a couple questions back to like what you were talking about earlier. So I don't know really anything about like the wrestling world, all that. When people were cutting at my high school, like for their matches and stuff, they would walk around with spit bottles, water bottles, and they would fill it up to the brim by the end of the day. And that's how they lost weight. Is that a thing? Or is that, are you thinking in your head?
So in the world of mixed martial arts and wrestling, you have your unprofessional and your professional people, how you do it. It's unfortunate. That's a thing. And I hope that starts going away, but that is a thing. I don't do that. That's disgusting, and you should not do that to make weight. I didn't have to wear plastics or touch a sauna to make weight. I made weight the smoothest and easiest I've ever made weight in my life. And at the end of the day, dude, making weight is straight discipline. That's all it is. It's just don't eat this and eat that. Do it consistently and be good. You gotta you don't eat for how it tastes. You eat because your body needs it. Once you get that in your brain, it's slight work from there. That's the hardest part.
You never got a little like dessert cheat day where you were like, oh shit, like some.
Well, so I actually tried in the beginning because I was very light in the first 2 weeks. But since I didn't have sugar in my body for 2 weeks, I took one bite of cake and it crashed me for like 8 hours because I haven't had sugar for so long. So when I put even a little bit of sugar, it crashed me. And that actually made me not crave sugar as much, knowing that even if I had it, it would make me happy up here, but it would kill my body and it wasn't worth it.
And then it would make you upset up there. So it's
exactly. It's like it was a whole like I didn't even want sugar. Now the last day when you cut the water out, you kind of want a little bit more, because you're dehydrated and you're tired, and that's a little. Dude,
I think I know. Like we were trying to record this episode on Wednesday, and you were sick. You just said it crashes your immune system. I think you're literally sick from all that. Is that correct?
A little bit, and I have horrible allergies. Like my right lung is 70% the size of my left lung. I have allergy-induced asthma, and the beginning of March and end of February is the highest allergy season in Florida. So I usually get kind of sick around this time as well. In the post-celebratory, didn't really get too much water in on that Sunday either, so that definitely didn't help.
Straight drinking. What did you think about the crowd there? Like, how do you think in your next fight, if it's not home, how do you think that'll affect you? Like, you pretty much like you were the main guy there.
Yeah, if you flip sides with that kid, because I was thinking if I'm that kid, bro, unless I have a dog mentality, I already lost before.
I love that shit though. I love that shit. I love playing away, dude. Those crowd, bro, those get me going. But like for you, like going into that first fight, that's got to be like such like a great confidence booster, just having like all your boys there, bro. Like you were like the hometown, everyone was supporting you. You know how many of your boys were there, your family's there, everybody's there that's been through it with you. So like, what do you think next fight? How will you take it not having like that home crowd, even though you have your family, but not like the big ass, all your boys yelling and screaming and shit?
Like if it's in like Arizona or something.
Yeah.
So first I want to acknowledge how it was having it. It was huge, dude. When I announced I had the fight, it's one of those things that you feel like, damn, there's this many people that really care about me. There's this many people that want to support me. That was a really big thing. Seeing all my friends and family that purchased tickets or even bought the pay-per-view or even hit me up and see how I did because they couldn't do either or, that was something that was huge. And I first felt it. So obviously knowing how many people are going, that didn't affect me because I didn't realize how much of an impact they were actually going to play in the fight until weigh-ins the day before. When we did weigh-ins, it flipped roles. So for the fight, I walked out second, but for weigh-ins, I went first. And it was loud when they said my name. Everyone was screaming. Everyone was pointing at me. Then they said his name, and it was silent. And I could see it in his eyes. That was the first thing I looked at was his eyes. And his eyes got big. And he was like, no one here cares that I'm fighting. And I was like, yeah. So like I kind of got that McGregor mentality where you don't just beat me, you beat everyone. If I go down, you're fighting people in the stands. Like this is a war. I'm bringing a whole group of people behind me. You're not just beating Grayson. You're beating this army. You gotta silence the crowd. And then when the walkouts happened, it's down a tunnel like this, right? So the tunnel, there's like the end right here. Then you go all the way down the tunnel and then you turn and then that's where you walk out at. So he was blue corner, so he went first. So he's all the way about to walk out. And I'm at the end of the tunnel. So once he starts his walkout, I start walking down the tunnel to go. And all I hear is boo. Like I can't even
he was getting booed, dude. I was like, I'm on the pay-per-view like,
no way that my crowd's that big. And then when they called my name, I couldn't even hear my own walkout music, bro. I didn't hear a single word of it. And I was amped. I was like, oh, he's going to feel it. And then I don't know if you saw, I tried to touch his glove in the beginning of the fight, and he said no. And I was like, all right, you're done.
Yo, you're fucked. Yeah, that is disrespect.
Yeah, you're done. But on the other aspect of it, if I'm in his shoes, that's something that, I watched a lot of, going into this fight, I watched a lot of Michael Chandler and a lot of Dustin Poirier because Michael Chandler's had one of the best UFC debuts of all time on that McGregor card. And I remember him saying, like, although he never took that walk before, he envisioned it a million times. And another thing was Dustin Poirier, when they interviewed him, they were like, how did you feel in the morning you woke up when you fought Conor? he said he felt awful. He felt cold. He felt flat-footed. He didn't feel excited. He had no motivation. He went out there and got it done. And, you know, so that's why I pushed myself in training a lot like that too. There's days I felt awful. I didn't want to practice. Days I had off days. I was getting my ass beat. But I remember at the end of the day when if I am in that situation that Cameron kid was in, I'm going to need to be able to shut this off and just attack, you know, and that's something I did with training. Like I just zoned out, you know, just being able to blank your mind out and get the job done is a key. And that's something that I haven't been put in that situation yet, but I feel like I'll be as prepared as I can be for it.
Yeah. Tell us.
I'm sure it's pretty hard to be nervous with that type of crowd and support, but like the night before, are you sitting in your bed nervous, or like when you're pulling up to the was it a ballroom, whatever it was, the location, are you nervous?
So the whole last week, I didn't really do too much fighting at all. It was just mainly get your weight off, feel good, calm your nerves. You know, I did a lot of stretching, make sure I didn't pull anything during the fight. Just mostly weight cut, and I didn't think about fighting at all. You know, because for I got this fight 98 days out. All I did every single night I went to bed is picture the walkout, picture the weight cut, picture shaking his hand, picture the fight, picture every single scenario at a million times. And I said in my post-fight interview, I pictured every single way this fight could have gone 1 million times. I'm just walking the dream now. So that was definitely an aspect of it. But the night before, I had about eight of my good friends from college here, and we were just chilling. We didn't talk about MMA. I didn't want to think about MMA. I want to do nothing. I got a great night's sleep. But the second I woke up, it was just straight back in my brain.
It was violence.
Yeah,
what was
it was like, today's the day. We've been thinking about this every day. Let's make it happen, you know.
What was the day of the fight? Like, what time did you get up? What time were you heading over? Like, what was your routine like?
I got up. This whole camp, I didn't sleep in past 11 once. Yeah. And so even when I was like, I'm gonna sleep into 11 on the day of the fight, I woke up at 8 o'clock. So like that didn't matter. I took a nice hot shower. I do that. That was a big thing I did in wrestling too. Before weigh-ins, I'd always shower, just calm my nerves. I had a really good breakfast. Hung out with my friends. I had to be at the arena way earlier because we had a referees meeting, and we had to like get there, make sure everyone gets there on time and stuff. And I remember because I found out like a couple days before I got moved to the main card. I got moved to I went from fight 6 to fight 17. So I was like, all right, I got time to relax, but you're not relaxed, dude. No matter how much I try to sit with my family, I couldn't sit down. Like it's just like it's a mixture of I don't want to fight at all, and a mixture of I want to get it done right now. You know, it's just like that weird in between feeling that, you know, as a competitor, and it's like I was ready, man. Once I heard my name, I left all fear and nerves at that door, and I just sprinted out that tunnel. I was like, let's go.
Do you feel?
Sorry, Caleb.
No, go ahead.
It's just a one-word answer. Was this his first fight?
So it was his first MMA fight, but I'm pretty. He was like 6-6 in kickboxing and 3-3 in jiu-jitsu, so he has experience with combat sports. But dude, that was like my 500th combat competition. That was not. It was a little newish, like the fight itself, but when it comes to wrestling on big stages or grappling, I've wrestled in the biggest and grappled in the biggest national tournaments. I've grappled and wrestled kids from other countries. Like I've been on that stage before. Like I know how to handle the nerves. You can never erase the nerves. You'll never, no matter, even Khabib gets nervous, but it's learning how to control them rather than try to run away from them is something I learned a lot.
Well, he couldn't control it. That kid
sucked. No, yeah, I could see it in his eyes, and I knew he was done.
Well, I'm not going to discredit you by saying he sucked, but you made him look like he sucks. I'm sure.
Exactly. Do you think
during that? I mean, some of the stuff he did was really smart. If you watch, when I got his back right off rip, and what he did, he used his length to hug my arms underneath his, so I couldn't attack his neck. That's why I ended up going off of him and just standing it back up, because I wasn't going to waste my time holding it there. And also, when I was going for the ground and pound, he kept grabbing my wrists and peeling my hands in, so I couldn't, because I'm not allowed to throw elbows, so I couldn't strike at all. So I had to keep fighting, and then if you watch, it would be like nothing and then a spurt and then nothing, then a spurt, because he kept grabbing my wrist. So he was fighting strategic, but it was more like he was fighting to survive rather than fighting to win. And you can't do that. You'll never win a fight that way.
Is the elbow an amateur rule, or is
it's an amateur rule? Well, I mean, there are some pro organizations too, because the whole thing about the elbow isn't that it's like it'll hurt you, because getting hit with a fist is the same thing. It's that an elbow will cut you open and bleed a lot. Okay. And the problem is there's not insurance with that in amateur. You know what I mean? True. And they don't have the pay-per-view money to keep the blood clean and everything.
Hit people up and shit.
Yeah, it's too much of a liability thing. But elbows, bro, that fight ends in the first round, 100%.
Yeah, I was
100%.
Do you feel like during the fight you really got to like soak in the moment of you like say like even like after that first round, bro, you fucked him up. You just hear all your boys, Grayson, Grayson, and you're in your corner. Like, do you feel like you soaked in that moment and like really like you were like, yo, this is fucking awesome?
Nah, dude, I was disappointed in myself. I was really disappointed in myself. I went into that fight wanting a first round submission. I've been preaching it the whole fight camp. I want a first round submission. And although I got the initial takedown off rip, it was the ugliest takedown I've ever got.
Yeah, you barely grabbed his foot. You dove at him.
I shot it so naked. I didn't set it up. And the whole time before the fight, my corner's like, we land the first punch, we land the first kick. We let him know that power you have. And I didn't. I sat back and I waited for him to come to me. So like, although there's a lot that I'm very proud of myself that I did in that fight, there's so much that I realized that I'm not ready for the pro. There's little things I got to critique still. Yeah. And overall, I'm very proud of myself. I got to finish. My goal is to go 5-0 with 5 finishes. That's how you sign pro. You know, people want people with finishes, but it still didn't go the way I wanted, you know? And, but in the second round, if you notice, I drop him with that cross. Yeah. My coach is like, he knows the takedown's coming. Obviously his corner is going to tell him the takedown's coming. So I knew something was going to be thrown at me crazy. So we're like, we're going to fake the shot and that overhand's going to be there. And it's exactly textbook what happened. I faked it. He dropped his hands and just ate it and dropped.
That shit was awesome.
That was awesome, dude. That was the moment I knew it was done. When I knew it was better on our feet and on the ground, I knew there's nowhere he was going to beat me.
You guys were just steps ahead. And honestly, what I just heard from you, like, kudos to you, because I'm sure if you're sitting there preaching it the whole time, first round, the whole camp, and then you don't land the first punch, you don't land the first whatever else you said, and then you don't finish it in the first. That's like 3 failures. And you go to your corner, then come out and fucking beat the shit out of him in the first second. Kudos to you for sticking to your guns and trusting yourself and realizing, look, I may have lost the battle, but I'm about to win the war. And you didn't even lose the battle. You literally destroyed the first round. It just wasn't how you wanted it to go.
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw in the beginning of the first, dude, I wanted that suplex so bad. I got him on the cage. I hit him tall as fuck. And I went for the throw, and what I should have done is so he was tall, like Kaleb said, so he put his foot down, and I had to go for that outside trip. But what I should have done is kneed his knee out and then dropped him on his shoulder, and then he would have been done there. He would have been done. But in the moment, dude, it's so hard to think. Like I'm just like get to the ground, get to the ground, get to the ground.
Do you guys watch film on yourself? Like after or did you watch film? Like I don't know, like basketball. You obviously watch film after a game. Do you watch film like on your fights?
Dude, I've watched my fight about 100 times.
Do you like break it down with your trainer and shit? Yeah. And you're like, oh, instead of this, you could have done this.
I watched it with my dad like probably 30 minutes after it happened.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. Like I rewatched the heck out of it, man. Because like I said, I'm so proud of myself and I'm so proud of it. But the things that people don't understand is what bothers me. The things that I was specifically working for that I didn't do. Like, although I got the trophy and I got everything, it's those minor achievements that mean the most to me, you know, that I was grinding on that I didn't get to do, that I really the next fight I get to do.
I was so happy you won.
Yeah, I was pretty amped. That post feeling, I've never, no football game, no MMA, no wrestling, no track, no sport I've ever done in my entire life can even slightly compete with that adrenaline hit that I got after when the ref jumped in between. Because I was punching him in the face for like 30 seconds. I'm like, I was like, what do you need me to do to win this fight? Like, do I gotta kill him? And then he kicked me off, and I landed that bomb of a 2, and he was done. He just curled up, and I knew it was over. Dude, and then I got up, and I was just like, let's go, baby.
The ref handled that so bad, bro. I could tell that you kept hitting him, and like you were waiting for the ref to call it, and then you're like, all right, I guess I'll throw another, and then fucking.
I look at the ref. There's a point I look at him like, what do you need me to do? Like what?
Like the kid is sitting here like this, like he's not even fighting anymore.
He wasn't fighting at all. He was just taking a beating. That's all he was doing.
He literally he went in there and just got his ass beat. He didn't.
I think he was just from the moment, bro. Like the way that you're talking right now, your preparation and then seeing the fans, like that's like unstoppable. And then you finally get in there and it's just like, I know the minor details didn't happen. You won the war. The one thing I was worried about in the very beginning, because like I barely know anything about like the fighting, like whether it's boxing, MMA, the UFC, I only bet on it. And so, and I'm always texting you about it before. And a big thing to me, I don't know how big it is to you, like, and in the wrestling world or the fighting world, reach. I think that's huge. And this guy's like, he's the Slim Reaper. So I was like, that's the one problem. But Grayson's just got to keep him on the ground. He should be good. And you did.
That was my biggest concern because if you go back and you look at my high school wrestling days, my biggest losses were guys his body build. You know, I always got upset by guys that weren't as good as me, but just because they were long, and I always had the issue. But I think being able to punch him in the face a little bit, that kind of made that reach go away. But he also didn't use it at all. He didn't land a single punch. He didn't even attempt to throw a punch. He did a good job with those kicks right off rip. But when I shortened the gap, it wasn't like he was jabbing to keep me away. He just like embraced me, and that's where he messed up. He couldn't let me. As soon as I grab you, you're done. Like
I think that you just like the whole thing, like the whole event, dude. Like you really like you and like your team and all your boys, bro. Like they just set the tone that this kid wasn't gonna fucking win. Like like right when he walked out and you said you looked him in the eyes, bro. He knew no one gave a fuck if he. No one gave a shit. Everyone in your corner is yelling and screaming, and he's just like, the fuck?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do, bro? He literally he had no hope, bro. He was done. He was done.
Alone.
The tone was set.
His head coach is actually Anderson Silva's old striking coach.
Yeah, when you told me that, I was like, dang, am I gonna see a few bombs out of this?
That's why I was expecting like crazy kicks. That's why I didn't really open up in the beginning, but he didn't throw it. He just threw some low kicks. That was it. And I was like, all right, I'll take those all day. They didn't hurt at all. I was like, all right. We knew I was stronger too. There's no dude to be bigger than me at 45. You got to
look at this fucking body, bro. Yeah. Look at this body. Come on now.
No muscle, bro. He had no muscle.
Come on, bro. And look at his face behind Stewart's head, bro. He's not ready, bro. He's not ready.
Perfect depiction.
Come on,
Lands, bro. He did one of these, and I was like, "Oh, you're done, kid. You're done."
Hey, tell Stu what he said to you after the fight when you were like, you only won.
Oh yeah, so after the fight, because I was like a little pissed off because he didn't touch gloves with me, and that's like a super respectful thing.
Disrespectful as fuck.
And he was like, "Yeah, man, your wrestling's really good," and I was like, "Yeah, but I dropped you with a cross," and I slapped him on the back.
No.
Yeah, I was pissed, bro. I was so mad. Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, but I dropped you with a cross," and then I slapped his ass and went to his coaches.
That's like the ultimate like petty fuck you, dude. That was awesome.
Love that.
That's awesome.
You, when I landed that cross, I knew I was fine because I was like, even if we stay on our feet, I'm better striker. I whooped his ass on our feet. I don't need to worry about anything now.
You're just an all-round better fighter.
Yeah, he was around.
So from this moment up until the moment where he decides not to touch your gloves, do you see him at all in the hallways, in the back rooms, and the way like the referee meeting that you were talking about?
Right. So I saw him right after that picture. We both had to go do a photo shoot. So we were like with each other at the photo. I mean, there's like 10 fighters there, but like we were both there. We had to take a mandatory photo shoot. And then we were in the same area for the referees thing, but we were like on completely different sides. But so the way it works is like everyone that fought in the red corner, we're all in our like a giant room for red corner, and then they're all in a giant room for blue corner. So besides that, I didn't see him at all or anything. I didn't even see him after the fight either. I didn't care to, bro. I know it sounds so dumb, but I was so mad he didn't want to touch gloves. Like that pissed me off.
Dude. I mean, people wouldn't understand it. Me and Stu probably barely get it, but like I get the respect thing. But from fighters, I'm saying from a fighter's like that's like very like yo, you better.
It's like a straight up like let's do this like
yeah, hey,
no, you know,
exactly.
Good luck. That's what it is. But as soon as he said no, I knew immediately a front kick was coming because I knew the reason he didn't want to touch gloves because he wanted me to rush in. That's why I kind of sat back a little too. And the front kick came, and I was able to duck it back.
Okay. Yeah, he tried. Like, okay, cool, bro. Like,
he didn't touch my face, bro. My face is completely fine.
Yeah, I know, dude. I saw you. I thought you didn't have a black eye, not even a fucking scratch on the cheek or anything.
I got a couple grappling scratches from like his gloves and his hair, but that's about it.
That doesn't even count, dude.
Yeah.
You just dominated him.
I'm wondering, like, have you seen the clip of? First off, are you ever gonna get cauliflower ear?
I got some this year. I can't wear AirPods.
We're gonna need to get some more cauliflower going to.
I agree though. I'm not anti. My ears just refuse. This one's kind of bad but it's like inside my ear. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Does it hurt?
I can't wear AirPods.
Does it hurt?
Not now. No, it hurts when it happens. Because when it happens, it's not hard. It's squishy and it's so sensitive.
Yeah.
So sensitive.
Really?
And then it hardens up and it shrinkens.
Yo, we need the lobe.
Yeah, I need to get it fattened up. I'm trying, bro. I've been trying.
So for your next fight, is there any potential that you could come out with a fucking sick mullet?
Could be in the works. Could be in the works.
FTC, like you shave the side.
Oh. That'd be tough.
That shit would be tight. You better. You'd have to whoop their ass if you come out looking.
Yeah, no. If I lost though,
you'd have to come out doing the same shit.
Bro, don't ever say if I lost. You're not gonna.
Yeah.
When you win, that's what we say. Is there any idea of like when your next fight will be, or you just kind of?
Yeah, we're looking at same organization, same location, June 5th. So
same location too.
That's quick, brother.
Yeah. So is it always the fight camp? Fight camp starts 8 weeks out. Is that like?
It's kind of whenever I want to start it, but I might do it a little bit shorter this time. I feel like I was getting a little drained and a little dead towards the end of it. But we're looking to do like another 6 to 8 week fight camp for sure. Yeah.
So what is outside of say like you do your 8 week fight camp, what are you doing the week before? Like what's the like obviously like in fight camp you're fucking grinding, but like outside of it, what are you still doing to like stay?
All right, so I'll give you a rundown of my week in fight camp and a week in non-fight camp. So if I'm not in fight camp, I'm training 3 days a week and I'm working out 3 days a week, and then Sunday's my rest day. I'm a big believer of a rest day. I feel like people overwork their body, especially a sport like mine, which it's super impact. There's a lot of wear and tear. You need that rest day. And usually on that rest day, I do about an hour of yoga. I'll drink a morning coffee to get my heart rate up, and then I'll just do an hour of yoga, stretch it out, hold poses. Yoga's hard as hell too, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
I don't do any anti-yoga stuff.
I'm not an anti-yoga. I love yoga.
And then that's about it. So I'll do like Monday, I'll go to practice. Tuesday, I'll work out, like just off and on, keep my body mostly focus on cardio over strength. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how strong you are if you can't hold your hands up, you know?
Yeah.
But during fight camp, it's 4 days a week of 2 days. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or 2 days. I got workouts in the morning, practice at night. Practice is 2 to 3 hours long. Then Saturdays is usually a hour-long cardio circuit. And then Sundays, I'm either hitting mitts or I'm doing an hour of yoga. So it's nonstop. It's not like during fight camp, I don't have time for a job. I barely had time for school. Shout out to my parents being teachers for helping me out a bunch during this fight camp.
Awesome.
But the good thing about the next fight camp, it'll be like end of semester, so hopefully I don't got to worry about that either.
Maybe you're fighting same weight.
Yeah. I'm too small for 55 and I'm too big for 35. Now, if Dana called me and was like, "Yo, I need you to make 35 in 2 weeks," I'm making 35.
Yeah.
You know? For right now, 45 is what we're rocking.
So every like when you cut weight, you're kind of just like trimming up, you're like getting like pretty much getting rid of fat, and then you're putting that weight back on like the next like that after you weigh in type shit. So someone that weighs in at 160 like 65 is gonna fight at like 175 180 almost.
Khabib fights at 55 and he starts his weight cut at 205.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's the biggest lightweight ever.
That's
like Max Holloway fights my weight class, he walks around 185.
Yeah, okay.
Little.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's skinny, bro. That's your guy, though. I remember you texted me about him.
He's a savage.
Yeah,
I like him.
I'm a big Max fan.
I just like when he points at the ground and then they just stay there and just go fucking at it. That's awesome.
He does not shy away from violence.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Expect violence, bro. That like you got to put that in your bio.
No, it already is there. It's already there. It's already there.
Maybe a tattoo.
Hey, and I feel like violence was displayed pretty solidly.
100%.
Easy.
100%.
Easy. That kid was not ready for you, bro. He couldn't. He was not ready.
He didn't want to be there.
Dude, I'm so. First off, I want to compliment the team you have. I was about to say I'm so glad to have you on our team, Coach on the Couch, but I'm so glad for you that you have such a good team around you. Whether it's your coaches, it's the community at your gym. It's the gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
With all the other fighters, everyone that showed out to support, bro. I feel like I know your minor details that you didn't like missing out on a couple opportunities, but I think that your first fight couldn't have gone better. To be honest.
Oh yeah, dude, that was the most beautiful debut I could have ever asked for.
For sure.
That's why I said I was studying a lot of Michael Chandler. Big Michael Chandler fan, fights out of Florida. He's a SoFlo boy as well. And if he can do that in the UFC, I was like, there's no reason I can't have a debut like that in an amateur organization, you know? Yeah. And at the end of the day, like you said, it's not just me that's training. It's my athletic trainers. It's my mom and dad. It's my sister. It's my coaches. It's you guys text me every day telling me that I got this. Like, it's bigger than me, man. It's not just me. It's way bigger than me. I'm just the guy that goes in there and fights. But at the end of the day, it's everyone, you know? It's the Grayson Army, man. It's not just me.
Yes, sir. It's the violent army.
Yeah, the violent army.
Put that on a shirt. The violent army.
Hell yeah.
All right, so I want to say thank you to everyone out there watching right now because you gave us a champion. We are now 1-0. Put 1-0 on your shoulder.
Let's fucking go.
Grayson has texted me and Kaleb about a future episode. I think it's March something. He says it's the best fight night in history.
March 6th, the greatest UFC fight card they've ever put together. Ever.
And I recognize some names on there from Grayson and my prior conversation. Jan is on the card. Adesanya is on the card. Who else? Give us a little highlight.
Three title fights. So it's the 135-pound title fight, which is Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. Then it's Amanda Nunes versus, it doesn't matter. And then Jan Blachowicz versus Izzy for the main event. Dude, the prelims itself could be a main card. Like, it's unbelievable. And my boy, Alon Cruz, Tampa boy, UFC fighter, he's the opening prelim on that fight card. So do not miss the prelims as well.
Shout out Cruz, baby. Shout out Cruz.
813, baby.
Yes, sir.
All day.
So we're definitely going to be doing an episode for that featuring Grayson talking fights. And then there's also, Grayson's our college football analyst, as everyone knows out there. We'll probably be talking about a couple coaching changes that's been going on. Grayson's now done with his training, so we have a much more open schedule coming up soon. So look out for a couple of those episodes. But any other questions, Kaleb?
No, man, I'm all good. Thank you guys for tuning in, like, and subscribe.
Honestly,
expect some big news coming up between a little cross between me and Filthy Humans dropping soon. Be ready for that.
Woo! Really?
This guy's big time, man. We gotta love it. That's what the hard work does, man.
That's some clout. All right.
If you cannot tell, the crowd is clearly behind Grayson here.
I'm on my way to an island and I'm popping shit at the pilot. Niggas be broken, be starving, but still talking shit like they violent. They say that they honest, how money these niggas gon' say that they got it. Getting out with the kid is success and these niggas gon' blame it on college. They don't wanna see you win, they don't wanna see the race. You don't wanna see a bitch caught up in the stars like she out of space. Mention that they kinda at the mention and I'm running out of space. Tell your homie keep on coming out his mouth and sending something around his way. Niggas barely getting lawyer money. Better get some sick soy money. Running around like you Superman. Don't be selfish, get your mom insurance money. Woo! Cause I'm the one to put it on your money. I'm the one to make it happen to you niggas. What you fucking ran the door for me?
Hop in the red, then I bought it, it's Liddy again. Fly out a bit from the tropic and Liddy again. All of my partners is poppin', you know that we Liddy again. All of the fours on college, you know that we Liddy again. They don't wanna see the squad, they don't wanna see the rain. They don't wanna see a bitch up in the stars like she going out of space.